What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another product review. Today is a comparison between all three TIMTAM devices. We got the V1.5, the all-new, and the Massager Pro. To keep it simple, this is the V1.5. This is the newer, updated version of this one here, and that is just a separate, its own category. The all-new, brand new. Some would call it the V2. So yeah. In this video, I'm not going to talk so much about the tips, just because I have a separate video on that, which I'll link in the description down below. I'm just going to talk about the major differences I see between all three devices, so we'll get right into it. First thing I want to note is the battery. The battery is interchangeable between all three devices. However, this is the V1.5 and the battery that came with it. Look at how simple it is to go in, okay? Like, no resistance at all, pops right in, but it stays in, right? It's sturdy. Now, with the V2, I am positive it's the exact same battery. The all new. This is the name of the device. The all new uses the exact same battery as the V2. So, exact same battery, which makes it extremely difficult to put in. So right here, I'm using quite a bit of force. There we go. And then it'll pop in. And then when you take it out, it's extremely difficult. There we go. Pull it out. There we go. So, very stiff. Now, I don't put the battery in and out often. I've had this machine for maybe 2-3 weeks now, but yeah, it's extreme. You gotta just smack it in there. And for the V2, the battery, super easy to put in. I mean, it's made for it, right? Now I'm just gonna get right off the bat the noise comparison, because I think that's the biggest thing everyone cares about. So the V1.5, I'm holding it. The mic is like 2 feet away. Pretty freaking loud, to be honest. This is the all new. One touch. Significantly quieter. Still loud, but definitely a noticeable difference between the two devices. And as you can see there, the V1.5 does not have one touch. The all new does. And now comparing to the V2, one touch to turn on. This is level 1. Level 2, and level 3. Night and day difference between the three devices. Again, the V2, even you can see from the packaging and everything, its own, separate category. Now, as far as build quality and construction, with the 1.5, the only thing is there were 2 little rubber pins here. And they fell out. I taped them on, but honestly, for the last few months, I've used it without the pins, and it seems to be fine. I contacted TIMTAM, and they didn't seem to worry about it, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But yeah, as you can hear, I'll bring it closer to my mic by me just shaking it. There is some jiggling, a lot of jiggling from right here where the attachment is. With the 1.5 or the all new, I keep calling it the 1.5. The all new. Significantly less, and it almost seems like it's been muffled. They've definitely added something to muffle it more than to help reduce the sound, which is really appreciated. And then with the Pro, I'm shaking it. You guys just can't hear anything because there's nothing loose about it. There's nothing. Everything is buttoned down really tight. which is really good and what you'd expect from a $500 device. Oh, and speaking about pricing, I should mention, I believe the 1.5 was $200 US or so when it's out. You can't grab this anymore. You can get the all new version of it. This is around $250 US, and this device actually, shout out to TIMTAM real quick before I forget. TIMTAM sent me this just to try out and review for you guys. So really awesome from TIMTAM. Thank you. I will definitely be using this a lot, and when I travel, this is going to be the guy I will take with me. Just because there's no case yet for the V2, and I don't want to take the whole box with me. Though TIMTAM did tell me that I could use the same case as I used for this, for the V2. But as you can see, there's a little hole right there for this piece to slide into to keep it stable. Whereas here, there's really nothing to keep it sturdy and stable during travel. But I digress. But honestly, that's the main difference between all three devices is sound, slight differences in build construction. Last one I would say is weight. Both these devices feel the exact same weight. I would say maybe 2.5 pounds. Whereas the V2 or the Pro, 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds. Definitely lighter than both. And it's also one touch, as you can see earlier, which makes it a lot nicer. You can hold it in all sorts of ways to get anywhere on your body, especially when you're using it alone, which is super useful. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Now I'll do a little spin around of each device so you can see the design differences, like the color scheme and everything. So with the 1.5, you got this rubber badging here. This grip in the back here is rubber. Over on the all new, instead of the rubber patch, you got this kind of ingrained into it, like raised font, rubber grip in the back also, which I believe this is like antimicrobial, which is really cool. All this should be the entire device. And all the batteries, as I mentioned, are interchangeable, and all the tips are interchangeable. It works for any device on the TIMTAM line. Very comfortable grips here on the V2. And in the back down here, I believe this is a place where you could unscrew these and you can add like a tracking device or something for your machine, so it doesn't, if it gets lost or stolen, you could find it, which is interesting. And as you can also see, the motor is much more compact in the Pro than it is in the 1.5 and the all new here. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the main difference between all these. I guess the charging is similar, right? Because it's the same battery. However, the stations for it is different. With the 1.5, you had this like big thing with it comes with a cord over here. With this cord, I got some earplugs down there. That's what the pink stuff is. But I got some cords here that you'd plug into a wall, and you would just put the battery in, like so, and you start charging it. On the the all new over here and the Massager Pro, it's the exact same thing that they use, which I'm going to use the V2 to demonstrate, just because the battery is a lot easier to take out. Alright. Stab it in right there, and then you're good. And same thing, you're going to have another cord that you connect to the battery, but just the port itself, the little station, is much more small and compact. Looks a lot cleaner. And yeah, that's all the differences between the three devices. put it all together here so you guys can see one last time. That is all three TIMTAM devices, all the main differences, and I do have a comparison video between these guys only, and I do have individual reviews on all three devices on my channel, so check that out if you're interested. Other than that, thank you for watching this quick little one take, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed, please leave me a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any of these or any questions, and I'll be sure to answer it. Thank you for watching.